I'm Bill Haggerty, very honored to be with all of you tonight and appreciate your tolerating our technical difficulties. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a few words about what's been happening today and in the past several days. It's been very troubling. First, I'd like to say this. My heart goes out to George Floyd and his family. We want to see swift justice take place there, nothing less. I also appreciate the right of people to protest. Embedded in our Constitution. But there is no constitutional right for violence, for looting, for the type of things that have been going on the past several days in our larger cities. The time has come for this to stop, and it needs to stop tonight. I put out a press release earlier today calling on the president to use the Insurrection Act. The president just 15 minutes ago, if you happen to hear it, just announced in the Rose Garden that he's going to do just that. That means that if our mayors and if our governors aren't able to get this taken care of with local law enforcement and with the National Guard, the president's going to take care of this issue for them. But we need to bring this lawlessness to an end. Our nation was founded on laws. We need to be a nation of law and order. So I applaud the president's move and appreciate that. And I hope that we can see this come to a swift end. And I also hope that we see swift justice for Mr. Floyd's family. Again, thank you for allowing me to be with you today. I'm Bill Haggerty. I'm a Christian, a conservative, a businessman, and I'm running with the complete and total endorsement of President Donald Trump. The president's endorsed me because he knows that I will work with him to get our economy restarted, to put America back to work. That's one of the reasons that he's placed me on the White House Economic Recovery Task Force. We've been working together a long time. I've had the privilege of working with the president on a number of occasions. In 2016, I volunteered with him full time for 6 months. I came over during the transition to help him seat the cabinet. I've been serving the past several years as our U.S. ambassador to Japan, a nation with more military stationed there than any place else in the world outside the United States. And now I'm back working with him again on the Economic Recovery Task Force. He's put me to work so I can help get America back to work and help get Tennesseans back to work. I'm from a small town, Gallatin, Tennessee, Sumner County here in Middle Tennessee. We had a small farm. I grew up raising cattle and pigs, baling hay. My parents are very similar to most other families here. We grew up without a lot, but my parents taught us great conservative Tennessee values. My mother was a school teacher for her whole career. My father worked road construction. They taught us to love Christ. They taught us to love our country, and they taught us to love one another. Importantly, they taught us the value of working hard. My dad, as I said, worked road construction. When I got older, I worked outside with him. My dad was a great man. He didn't have the opportunity to graduate from college, but he worked hard so that I would have that opportunity. I was fortunate to graduate college and start a business career, a career that I couldn't have imagined as a young man from a small town in Tennessee. It was a great opportunity for me to learn business and work on major transactions and travel. I remember when I joined the company I first started with, I'd been to all of 7 states. By the time I'd finished at that first company, I'd worked on 5 different continents. But as fortunate as I was to have a successful business career, I've never been more fortunate than the day God smiled on me and I met my wife, Chrissy. Chrissy and I prayed that we would have a large family. We've been blessed with 4 wonderful children. William just finished the 10th grade. Steve in the 9th grade. Both of those boys are Eagle Scouts. We couldn't be more proud of them. Our daughters, Tara and Christine, are just finished the 5th and the 7th grade, and they are the apple of our eye. And it's because of them. It's because of them that we've decided to do this, decided to run for the United States Senate. We're doing this because we want them to have the same sort of opportunities and the same sort of freedoms that we grew up with. And I can't tell you how I'm concerned when I see what's happening in Washington. The calls for socialism that are coming from the Democrat Party. Nancy Pelosi and the squad trying to impose their view of the world that would be more government, more crushing debt, and less freedom and opportunity for all of us. I'm running because I want to see that change. I'm running because I want to stand beside President Trump and support him again in this endeavor. I want to stand beside him to grow the economy again. And I want to stand beside him to ensure that we have law and order and support our law enforcement. I want to see our border secured. I want to see our wall built. I want to see constitutionalist judges continue to be appointed to the bench. I'm 100% pro-life and 100% for the Second Amendment. I'm going to stand with our military, with our veterans. I'm going to stand up against radical Islamic terrorism and call it what it is. And I'm going to stand up against China. I look forward to having the opportunity to discuss with you today that vision, to answer your questions. And I very much appreciate, again, the opportunity that you've given me to be with you tonight.